Hey everyone, and happy Monday back from my feast day. Hope you all are doing good. I've found 3 GovDocs, not all of which we'll cover in this session, I thought were kind of interesting today. And if you're seeing this and you haven't already, because I haven't seen anyone who has watched it, including my husband, not for whom it was made. I read it because I thought it was interesting. If you want to read about presidential censure or Congress's right to censure the president back from 1998 in the Slick Willie days, please go take a look at that recording. It's quite interesting for those of you that like keeping an eye on things. But anyway, I found this lovely table from the Brennan Center for Justice, declare national emergencies under National Emergencies Act. I thought it was kind of interesting for us to see what exactly is still in effect. So I'm mostly looking at the gray area. So from like 1979, we still renewed this blocking Iranian government property. I'm just looking for the shaded ones. So proliferation of weapons of mass destruction from 94. Further amended, continued, okay. Let's see why we'd be against that. Executive order prohibiting certain transactions with respect to development of Iranian petroleum resources. Okay, so labs, all this lovely stuff, yep, what the Iranians have petroleum resources. Let's see, 95, but also then continued in 23, blocking assets prohibiting transactions with significant narcotics traffickers. You can see how that's defined. And then we have PRUSC 6867 here, the regulation of the anchorage and movement of vessels with respect to Cuba in the 90s. Must have been like the Emilio Esteves case, maybe? Let's see, what else we got? Oh, and Dow 97, blocking Sudanese government property and prohibiting transactions with Sudan. I haven't kept up on what's going on in Sudan, but clearly something we want to keep in check. What else? Let's see, we have from 2001, blocking the property of persons who threaten international stabilization efforts in the Western Balkans. Now the Balkans are always tossing themselves up. Continuation of export control regulations. Declaration of national emergency by reason of certain terrorist attacks. So yeah, September 11th. Most expansions of authority were announced as amendments, including one in 02, one in 03, and one in 07. But yet somehow this hasn't gotten repealed. Interesting. Yeah. Alright, blocking property, prohibiting transactions with persons who commit, threaten to commit, or support terrorism. Yep. That I can see keeping on. Yeah, so continued by notice in 24 and in 19. Protecting the development fund for Iraq and certain other property in which Iraq has an interest. Alright, so continued by the notice of 24. Okay, so looking at Iraq, blocking property of certain persons and prohibiting export of certain goods to Syria. Yeah, Syria goes back and forth on whether or not we're getting along with them. Blocking property of certain persons, undermining democratic processes or institutions in Belarus. Oh yeah, Belarus. Kind of like Ukraine, but not. Blocking property of certain persons, contributing to conflict in Democratic Republic of Congo. Okay, continued in 2023. Anyone knows anything about Democratic Republic of Congo, please let me know why we're spending money over there. Blocking property of persons, undermining sovereignty of Lebanon, its democratic processes and institutions. Okay, I can see why that's been kept. Continuing certain restrictions with respect to North Korea and North Korean nationals. Yeah, we keep a tight eye on those guys. Okay. Blocking property of certain persons, contributing to conflict in Somalia. Okay. Continued by the notice, I didn't even know we were still doing stuff in Somalia. Man, that feels like a lifetime ago. Alright. Blocking property and prohibiting certain transactions related to Libya. So yeah, again, continued in February. I don't know if Muammar Gaddafi's people are still kicking. Blocking property of transnational criminal organizations also sounds like a good idea. Albeit vague. I'm sure I could click through and look at more, but then we'll get stuck somewhere strange. We have blocking property of persons, threatening the peace, security, or stability of Yemen. Somehow we're protecting Yemen? Question mark. Realizes I don't know enough or anything really about Yemen. Alright, blocking property of certain persons, contributing to the situation in Ukraine in 2014. Situation, okay. That's a way of putting it. Blocking property with respect to South Sudan. Sudan again. Not quite sure what's going on down there. Contributing a conflict in Central African Republic. Again down there, okay. 2014. See, this is like, I think this was during the time I wasn't paying as much attention. I should feel like I should have been paying some attention, because that's when Dan started watching much news with me. Anyway, Walking Properties is pending entry to contribute the situation in Venezuela. Venezuela is going nutty back down then too. Alright, still continuing, still continuing. Certain persons, a significant malicious cyber-enabled activities. I like that, that's nice and big. Alright, apparently Burundi got off, but involved in serious human rights abuse or corruption. Ooh, like that. Imposing certain sanctions in the event of foreign interference in the United States election. Okay, that makes sense, kept that one. Blocking the property of certain persons, contributing to the situation in Nicaragua. Nicaragua's still got issues, okay. Executive order on securing information, communications, technology, and services supply chain from 2019. That seems like a good one. Go by it. Blocking property and suspending entry of certain persons contributing to the situation in Mali. What the heck was going on in Mali? Okay, clearly wasn't paying attention. I also feel like a dummy because I'm going to have to look up Mali. Blocking property, suspending entry of certain persons in Syria, which we already talked about that. Syria's been a minute known thing. President's executive order on Hong Kong normalization. I don't know if that's normalization of the language. I don't know. That's an odd one. Okay. National emergencies. National emergencies. That's what this is listed. Don't forget that. Addressing the threat from securities investments that finance communist Chinese military companies. Yep. Don't be financing communist Chinese military. Blocking property with respect to the situation in Burma. Again, I'm not sure what's up in Burma. Probably should check in on that day. Blocking property with respect to harmful foreign activities. The government of the Russian Federation. Yep. Imposing sanctions on certain persons with respect to humanitarian and human rights crisis in Ethiopia. Ethiopia's kicking off again. Okay. Sanctions on foreign persons involved in global illicit drug trade. Nice and vague. Protecting property of the Afghanistan Bank for the benefit of the people of Afghanistan. Protecting the Afghanistan Bank. That's a national emergency? Really? Okay. Declaration of national emergency and emergency authority relating to the regulation of the anchorage and movement of Russian-affiliated vessels to United States ports. Ooh. That was kind of interesting. I don't know what the story on that is. Alright. Bolstering efforts to bring hostages and wrongfully detained United States nationals home. I have a feeling that's the Grimes case. Addressing United States investments in certain national security technologies and products in countries of concern. Again, nice and vague. And we only got two more, don't worry. Like I said, it's a short one. Imposing certain sanctions on persons undermining peace, security, and stability in the West Bank. And then preventing access to Americans' bulk-sensitive personal data and United States government-related data by countries of concern. These last ones are as recent as early 2024, but yeah, we don't have a ton of national emergencies, I guess. And I'm probably going to do something bad, so I'll take a little pause and see if this works out. Okay, I'm resuming just to show you that that click actually did work and sent me to the actual executive order that I was sort of looking at back in here, if I can flash back. So, yeah, the American bulk sensitive personal data. Just because I was kind of curious what this is, so let's go. Yeah, I know my scrolling is terrible. Countries of concern can also use the access card and it's ordered that policy. Here we go. Give me some policy. Restrict access by countries of concern to government-related data. Unacceptable risk. Yeah, I'm kind of curious what the countries are. Blocking the property of certain persons engaging in significant malicious cyber-related threats. Could be. Alright. Unless this actually will tell us. Sorry, scrolling around a bit. Yeah, order notes are compiled and maintained by the Federal Register of Editors. Okay, never mind. This is just the amendments and who the president is. Okay. Yeah. Okay, well, we see where that took us. You can sit and read this nice little executive order if you feel like it. I was just curious what countries this might have involved, but it seems it doesn't. Oh, hang on. Term country of concern. means any foreign government that, as determined by the Attorney General pursuant to Section 2.3 or 2F, has engaged in a long-term pattern or serious instances of conduct significantly adverse to the national security or the security and safety of United States persons and poses a significant risk of exploiting bulk sensitive personal data or United States government-related data to the detriment of national security of the United States or the safety and security of United States persons, as specified in the regulations issued to the Attorney General pursuant to Section 2 of this order. Okay, so, yeah, there's only specific countries. Okay, I've gone down this rabbit hole, but thank you for coming with me. Hopefully you found this as interesting as I did. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world.